The New York Knicks might be forced to make a tough decision, and it could involve trading away one of their youngest prospects before the season even starts. Some reports are suggesting that Malcolm Brogdon is expected to have a significant role off the bench as the backup floor general, and if that's the case, it might push the Knicks front office to move on from a second-year player who's 20 years old in Pacôme Dadiet. That's right, the Knicks' French wing who could already be on the chopping block. Now let's break this all down because this storyline has a ton of layers. First, let's start with the report from James Edwards. He said that talking to people around the league, the name that keeps popping up is Pacôme Dadiet. Teams see him as the most likely young Knick to be moved because of his size, age, and upside. He's only 20 years old, he's 6'8", 210 pounds, and if his development shakes out, he profiles as the kind of modern two-way wing that every team wants. But here's the catch, the Knicks right now are leaning toward keeping both Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet, two veterans who are on non-guaranteed deals. And here's why that matters. If you keep both Brogdon and Shamet on the main roster, you have to cut or trade someone else. That's the only way it works. The veterans have leverage because of what they bring. Brogdon gives you that calming, reliable backup point guard presence that the Knicks have lacked, a true floor general who can steady the second unit, create shots for others like Jordan Clarkson and McBride, and knock down his own. Shams even doubled down recently, saying that the Knicks expect Brogdon to have a real key rotation role off the bench. This isn't just a camp body. Then you look at Shamet. He proved last year that he can earn the trust of the coaching staff and front office. He's a proven shooter, and if this team is truly emphasizing spacing under Mike Brown, as I assume they are, Shamet's shooting has real value. You don't just find that kind of veteran knockdown threat off the bench every single day, so what's the ripple effect? If both Brogdon and Shamet make the team, someone has to go. And as James Edwards reported, Dadiet has more value around the league than Tyler Kolek or Ariel Hukporti. Kolek is older and smaller, Hukporti is still kind of raw, but Dadiet is the shiny new project teams could buy into. That's part of the reasoning as to why executives think that if the Knicks do make a trade, Dadiet is the most likely candidate. And here's the brutal reality, the Knicks probably will not get a big return for him, even though he was a first-round pick. Edwards mentioned a second-round pick, maybe 2 at best. But most executives think that his upside is way higher than that of Kolek or Hukporti, and so maybe there is a market beyond just late picks. Now let's zoom out for a second. Why would the Knicks actually want to do this? Because depth wins championships, and this team is built to win now. If you are Leon Rose and you look at this roster, are you prioritizing a 20-year-old who might not contribute for 2 or 3 years, or are you prioritizing a healthy Malcolm Brogdon and a proven shooter in Landry Shamet who can help you win in April, May, and maybe even June? That is exactly the win now pressure. That's the decision-making lens that this front office is operating under at the moment. But here's the other side of the coin. If you trade Dadiet too early, could this be another player that you regret moving on from? Knicks fans know this feeling all too well. You ship away a young guy, he blossoms somewhere else, and you're left wondering what if. Dadiet has all the tools he needs to be great. He's long, he can defend, and if his shot comes around consistently in the future, he's the type of wing that every playoff team wants. That is why the Knicks are right now at such a crossroads. On one hand, Mike Brown and the staff want spacing, maturity, and reliability, and that is Brogdon and Shamet. On the other hand, you risk giving up on a potential future starter before you even seen what he can do. So it's definitely a risky move, and here's where things get even spicier. Mitchell Robinson recently hinted that he might not play both ends of back-to-backs this year, which opens the door for more opportunity for someone like a second-year player in Ariel Hukporti to have a bigger role. That makes it even more likely that Dadiet, not Hukporti, would be the odd man out in a trade. The rotation puzzle is getting tight, and Leon Rose is going to have to make a tough call. But I'll tell you guys this right now, I believe that it will definitely happen only after training camp and potentially even preseason. So do not expect any trade at the current moment, but definitely could happen in the coming weeks. And look, another reason that the Knicks would not prefer to trade Tyler Kolek is because if they do trade him, he would definitely not allow them to sign a prorated veteran minimum deal later in the season, which is something that they did end up using last season with PJ Tucker. But Knicks fans, I gotta throw it to you guys. If it comes down to keeping Brogdon and Shamet, assuming that they stay healthy in training camp, are you okay with the Knicks trading Pacôme Dadiet? Or do you think the front office should sacrifice one of the veterans and keep investing in the youth movement? And if so, who do you think the Knicks should keep out of Brogdon or Shamet if they do not keep both? My take on this is that the Knicks should keep Brogdon no matter what. Let's be real, he's very talented and much more than Shamet, but he is less available. But make sure to leave your comment down below on your thoughts about this whole situation. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel for more Knicks news and updates you will not want to miss. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.